I run ads for local service-based businesses in my area, similar to barbershops, med spas, businesses in the home service industries, and many others. In this video, I want to show you how I find my winning ads, how I script them, how I shoot them, and how I set up my ads. Literally everything you need to know to get started today. This video is for videographers who are tired of chasing one job after another, or getting booked inconsistently and just doing one-off jobs. The truth is, the reason why you're losing clients or you're not getting clients at all is because at this scale, business owners don't really care about a cool video or branding. You see, they're not in the position to care about branding or cool videos because the truth is what they need is results and they need it fast. And at its core, your service is just a glorified videographer painted as a marketing agency that can get them results when in reality, all you're giving them is organic content or supplying them with a branding strategy. You see, your service is no different than another videographer who will do it for exposure. What you really need is a system that generates these businesses results. But results is so vague. What exactly does that mean? It means being able to directly impact their business and bring customers through the door. It means being able to increase their monthly recurring revenue. It means allowing them to buy their time back and giving them the opportunity to work on the business and not in the business. And finally, it means giving them the opportunity to remember why they started a business in the first place. You see, your problem isn't your service or that you can't get them results. It's that you can't track those results and trace them back to you. You see, the content and videos you're making for them for their social media isn't directly tied to their sales, so there's no way for you to track that. But with this system, not only will you be able to help them make more money, but you'll be able to track that directly back to you through ads. And this will ultimately increase the length of which they work with you and your agency and allow them to focus on what really matters, scaling. But don't worry, because trust me when I say this, I was once in those exact shoes. Losing clients after 2 to 3 months of working with me because they didn't feel like they saw a return on their investments. Even though the videos and the content I was making for them was performing really well, it wasn't being tracked directly back to their sales funnel. So it made it really hard for them to see it as a return, which ultimately, as a business owner, it makes them feel like it's not essential to their business, which causes them to not really feel like it's necessary. So now I want to break down exactly how I find winning ads. So whether you're a marketing agency or you're a business owner who wants to create and run your own ads, this is exactly how I currently do it. And I want to show you guys step by step how we do it. So let's jump into it. So first things first, before we even launch our ads and we open up the ads manager, we really need to figure out what kind of ad we're even running. What is a winning ad, right? And it's the current way that I do this is I just want to go ahead and open up ads library. So once you open this up, what we're going to go ahead and do is do some market research, right? We're going to look at competitors, see what other competitors are currently doing in my area or just in the same industry as me. And the reason why we want to do this is because we'll be able to actually see how long they've been running certain ads. And what this will tell us is if it's a winning ad, you know, for example, let's do detailers, right? If we do detailers right here, they're a service-based business. If they've been running ads since February, we're currently in May right now, been running ads since February, that tells you one thing, it's a good ad. It's clearly winning and it's clearly giving them a return on the investment. Otherwise, they wouldn't be running it for so long, right? So let's go ahead and scroll down. As you can see, as I said, they have one running in February. They have a couple. If we scroll down a little bit deeper, they have other ads they've been running since February 5th. Crazy. So for example, let's look at this one right here, February 5th.
How do we stay so organized in such a big shop? If you know us, you know one of our fundamental principles is clean shop equals clean installs. A clean shop is so important.
Perfect. So now we know they're doing simple talking head videos, talking about a service, and it's performing clearly really well for them since they've been running it for over 4 months now. So if we go ahead and scroll. So with that being said, you've kind of already found your winning ad in a sense, right? This changes depending on the industry you're in. So if we were to do a different industry, you would do the same process to find that winning ad. And if we go ahead and take a look at another industry, we can see it's the same process. It's just rinse and repeat. Let's go ahead and do barbershops. Knockout Cuts Barbershop. This seems cool. Okay, they're not running any ads. Let's try another one. Let's do Floyd's Barbershop, see what they're currently running. So February 16th. Okay, cool. So this is a little bit different. February 16th, they're running static images, just a simple picture of a barber and a customer. They're running just a very simple ad. So this might be a winning ad if they've been running it since February 16th. So that's another one. If we were to do a different industry, let's do roofers. Let's click roofers ready, see what they're talking about. Okay, cool. As you can see, they have some from May 27th. It's fairly new. If we scroll down, all the way down, they have some that have been running since May 11th. Okay, cool. So as you can see here, they're running one here. I know they're running a bit of a longer one. So this is a winning ad clearly if they've been running it since May 11th. It could be it's still in the testing phase. If it was a little bit more than 30 days, that's when I would really classify it as a winning ad. Now keep in mind you have to look at if they're running with any offers, what's the incentive behind their ad, and then apply that to your offer as well. So figure out how you can incentivize people to actually follow through with the service. So once you find your winning ad, we'll be able to move on to kind of that next phase. Well, now we're gonna jump into the actual ads manager. So as you can see, we're inside the ads manager. How we're gonna create this ad, don't overcomplicate it, just follow this step by step. So go ahead and click create. We're gonna go ahead and for service-based businesses, typically you're gonna always wanna do leads, okay? So let's select leads. So like I said, barbershops, home service industries, restaurants, all that, detailers, leads. Open this up, press continue. We're gonna go ahead and wanna do manual lead campaign. You don't wanna do recommended, okay? So the reason why you don't want to do this is because typically when you're running with this, you pay more for less. When if we do manual lead campaigns, we'll have control over a lot more. So let's continue. So as you can see, we are inside the campaign level. The way that I like to explain this is Facebook divides this into kind of 3 levels. We have the campaign level, we have the ad set level, and then we have the ad level. So ad level being the actual creative, the actual photo or video we're going to be running as an ad. The ad set level is kind of where we take care of controlling the targeting of who we want the ad to be shown to. Then the campaign is kind of where we handle what kind of project is this going to be, right? Are we trying to get leads? Are we trying to get more followers? Kind of that sort of thing is the way that I like to simplify it, right? So as you know, we selected leads. So as far as the name for the campaign, I don't really have a specific strategy of what I like to name them. What I would go ahead and do is just name it my first campaign. That works. Or you can name it like test campaign, right? Since we're doing testing. So test campaign, you can even throw in 1 if you want. So don't worry about any of this. Don't worry about any of this. What you want to go ahead and do is just jump to the ad set level. So press next. This right here, you can go ahead and name it either the same thing and just add ad set to the end of the name. So it'd be like test ad set 1, right? So in this case, what we are going for is a website, okay? So a lot of people do this a lot of different ways. You can go with the instant form. You can go with many other options on here. The way that we're going to be using this is through websites because we want to generate leads to their landing pages. Specifically, in this case, let's do this for an example, a barbershop. The reason why we want to do websites is because we want to drive them to the booking page, right? Now, this applies if you're in the home service industry. If you want to drive them to a free consultation or a free quote, whatever the case may be, you want to drive them over to that landing page where you can then nurture them your offer, right? So, and I'll show you in a second what a landing page with an offer kind of looks like. And there's different ways of what it looks like depending on the industry, but just so you have an idea, the landing page is essentially your website, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. So we'll go ahead and click the website. Now, if we go over to the bottom, the performance goal, we want to make sure it's maximize conversions, okay? So as you can see, we select maximize conversions, and yours might be selected as maximize number of clicks. We don't want clicks, what we want is conversions, right? We want to set a conversion goal. So currently I don't have a pixel created, but you would have to create a pixel. If you guys want a video on how to create a pixel, I can show you guys exactly how to make that pixel. Essentially what the pixel does is it's a code embedded on the landing page and a code that is embedded on the ad. And every time someone clicks on your ad, they'll be tracked from the moment they click on the ad to when they land on your landing page. And what happens is all of their activity that they do from your ad to your landing page will be tracked. And say we're going for leads, right? It isn't turned into a lead until they click on your booking button. The people who do click on the booking button, it will tell Facebook, okay, we just got a lead, and it will try to target more people that are similar to the person who clicked on the button. And this will not only increase our number of results, and it'll also strengthen the targeting as the ads run, right? So at the beginning testing phase, we might get kind of a bunch of different kind of audiences, just Facebook throwing it at a bunch of audiences, testing different markets. But as we go with the pixel, what will happen is it'll then tighten its audience to people that are more likely to press on that button, and we'll get higher results at a cheaper cost. And if you guys have any more questions on a pixel, just DM me at ViralHazi and I'll be happy to answer them. So if we scroll down, you want to leave this alone as well. As you can see, budget, daily budget. So this is where I recommend to business owners a good daily budget to have for service-based businesses is anywhere from $30 to $60 just to start out, right? So for the testing phase lasts around 3 to 7 days. What that means is you just want to test your ad to see which is the winning ad. So in this case, you would want to run, $60 a day for like the first 3 to 7 days. Then from there, once you find the ad that's performing the best, what you're going to want to do is cut the ads that are the loser ads and run only the winning ad. And then you can drop your daily budget back down to like 30. But what I recommend is start at 60 for the testing phase for 3 to 7 days. Once you have your results, you'll be able to then drop it back down to 30, right? 30, 20, pick your poison. If we go down to schedule, I don't really recommend scheduling or setting an end date. You can schedule, but setting an end date isn't recommended. The reason why is because of this, right? So currently the ad will be ran until I tell it to stop. But if I set an end date, let's say I set it to June 5th, right? So I let it run for 5 days, for example. On the 4th day, kind of getting closer to the end, that'll tell Facebook, okay, they're coming to an end, their ads are gonna cut, so let's stop pushing it to audiences. Now, if we let it run infinity, Facebook will never know when we're gonna cut the ad, so it's gonna continue to push it just as much as it did the day before, and it will the day after. So this is a good way for you to just continue to get steady, consistent results without messing up the chances of getting good results. So if we scroll down, you'll be able to see audience controls. Now, with audience controls, you don't really want to mess with this. The only thing you should be messing with for audience controls is location. Facebook is really good about targeting your desired audience. You just have to make sure that in your ad, you're targeting the right audience with the right call to actions. So like I said, the only thing you really want to mess with is location targeting. So as you can see, location targeting, for example, let's say I am a business who is in Dallas, Texas. I would do Dallas, Texas. And a good rule of thumb is I would say about 25-mile radius for a barbershop, right? Now, it all comes down to your business, right? So say you're a roofer or you're in the home service industry, you might expand out to 50 miles. That's something I recommend. 50 miles is not bad if you're in that industry. It all comes down to your niche, right? Say if you're a restaurant, people aren't really driving out, 25 miles to go to a restaurant unless they have a wow factor. But in this case, I would just do 25 miles. If we go over a little bit down, as you can see, it'll ask us minimum age or exclude any of these custom audiences. I wouldn't really mess with any of this. You can mess with the age, but I would just leave it. Like I said, Facebook is really good about targeting your desired audience if your copy is good within your ad. So your headlines, what you're actually saying within the video or the static ad, it'll all target the right people as long as your copy is correct, right? And I'll show you guys exactly how to find the right copy. If you go down to Advantage Plus, as you can see, it's currently set to Facebook's. You can switch this over to switch to original options. We'll go ahead and press use original audience. And this is where it'll allow us to actually see all of this on the side. And now we can go ahead and start creating a custom audience, right? So this is where we can start applying interest. So for example, if I'm a barbershop, I'm gonna want to head and throw in some interest for barbershops like hair. It would be hair. So if I want to get more customers for this barbershop, I would throw in maybe hair colorist or other things in the industry. Or if I'm in the home service, I would want to throw in home and garden maybe, right? This is interest that current active users on Facebook are looking at. So that'll help target your desired audience, but I don't recommend touching any of this at the moment. Just run broad, just to test. It's targeting on its own. I would leave languages alone as well. If we scroll down a little bit more, placements, you can change it to do it manually, but honestly, I would leave it alone as well, just because of the fact that Facebook does really well of where it's actually showing your ad to, based on kind of the aspect ratio and everything like that, and where the majority of your users are, right? So majority of barbershop clients are either on Facebook and Instagram. It's probably not going to throw it up on any of the other platforms. So now that we have that figured out, just run through it, make sure everything's good. We left interest and we left the targeting alone. We threw in Dallas, Texas because you're a business in Dallas, Texas. We do a 25-mile radius because they're a barbershop, right? If we go up a little higher, we didn't schedule the post. We're just going to have it set to when we launch it immediately. We didn't put an end date because that's going to affect the reach that Facebook pushes it to the audiences. We set the daily budget of $60 because we're going to be doing a testing phase for 3 to 7 days. And we did maximize number of conversions, and we're going to create a pixel, right? The next thing is we also did a website, okay? We scroll down, we press next, going ahead and continue. So now that we're in the ad level, what you're gonna want to head and do is, let's go ahead and change the name to Creative 1. Let's keep it simple. If we scroll down, as you can see, my Facebook page and Instagram account is currently linked. This is really important to have, otherwise your ad won't be able to be shown on the Instagram or Facebook if they aren't linked properly. So just make sure that they're currently linked. So now if we scroll down a little bit to the bottom, you want to go ahead and make sure that it is on create ad, right? And the ad setup part. The reason why we want to do create ad instead of use existing post is because when you use an existing post that is on your Instagram or your Facebook, it makes it hard for you to make changes in the future to the ad without affecting your results. So make sure it's create ad. And if we scroll down to the bottom, this all look the same. Keep scrolling. We go over to website. I just dropped in placeholder.com, but let's go ahead and do a domain for one of my current clients, right? So let's drop in the domain. So this is where the traffic will be taken to after they click on your ad, right? So in this case, say I come across your ad and I click book now, this is the domain that it will drive me to. So before we move forward, we want to make sure that our landing pages are optimized, okay? So now let's take a look at what an optimized landing page kind of looks like. So let's take a look at this client. Currently, they have a website. As you can see, just right off the bat, you can see 2 spots, schedule an appointment, book an appointment, multiple opportunities to go ahead and book that appointment. They make it very easy and frictionless for you to go ahead and book the appointment, and they don't make it difficult to where you have to go into the website and scroll and scroll and scroll to find the book now button. It's right at the front, right at the top. And if you want to see what that looks like on iPhone, because that's something you have to make sure you're optimizing for, is iPhone, because that's where the majority of your traffic is going to be coming from. As you can see, same thing. Buttons are very quick. They're right there, and they're right in your face, so it makes it really easy for them to get more booked appointments. So now that we kind of have an idea of what that optimized landing page looks like, let's jump back into the Ads Manager. So we drop the URL, we scroll down, browse add-ons. You want to leave these alone. I wouldn't touch these at all. You see add creative. So let's go ahead and select video ad. So as you can see right here, you're going to want to go ahead and skip over to media. We go over to media, we're going to want to hit upload. So once you hit upload, you're going to want to drop in your ad. So now that we found our ad, just press open, drop it in there. It'll take a second for it to process. Once it's uploaded, go ahead and select the ad and press next. So right here, we want to make sure we put our primary text in our headline, description, and call to action. Now, this part's very important just because of the fact that this is where we have an opportunity to do a little bit more of copy, and it'll help Facebook target our desired audience, right? So I'm going to break down exactly what I like to do when I fill this out. So primary text, I like to do a quick little headline. The way that I like to structure it is you want to have location, you want to have maybe kind of raise a question or your offer, right? So in this case, let me show you what that kind of looks like. In this case, we have Frisco, Texas. Come through and use code blank to get $5 off, or sorry, $10 off. So as you can see, location is here, and we have them drop their offer straight to the point, very simple. It's not too crazy. Call to action. Book with any of our top barbers. Spots are filling fast. Lock yours in today. So headline can be something very similar. Headline can be something like Frisco, Texas. I would press next. Make sure this is off. And now that you are basically done, it'll allow you to preview it right here. So as you can see right here, it says Frisco, Texas, come through, and we have Frisco, Texas as the headline. Now you can change the headline however you would like, but I like to have either location or call to action with the offer. So you can put something like get $10 off, book now. something very simple. I wouldn't overthink it too much. And as you can see right here, it's right here again. So you could change it to get $10 off, book now. You see what that looks like? So we could have something like that. But honestly, I wouldn't overthink it. I would just take this and do something like this. As you can see, Facebook will let you preview it and see what it would look like on Instagram stories, the feed, on Facebook, and it'll give you a great idea of what this ad will look like, okay? Now you can do variations, but the reason why I would steer away from doing variations is because we need this to look the exact same during the testing phase when we're running multiple ads. The reason why is because we want to keep all variables the same throughout each ad, so that way we can test and everybody has an equal opportunity to perform. That way, you know, we don't have different variables when we're testing ads. If we scroll down, call to action, there's learn more. For something like this business is a barbershop, I wouldn't do learn more. I would do something a little bit more direct because it's low ticket, it's low risk. I would do book now, right? Book now it would be perfect. So if we scroll a little bit more down, just ignore all of this. As you can see, if you have enchantments on for some reason, just make sure they're all off. They're not necessary, you don't need them. If you scroll down, languages, same thing, keep it as is. If we would have a pixel set up, it would say website event, it would be set up. But if you guys need help, like I said, setting up that pixel, just shoot me a DM and I'll be happy to help. After that, you would want to do the same thing for your other ad. So all you have to do is press duplicate. Once you press duplicate, I would go ahead and just select duplicate right here. As you can see, we have the copy right here. I would name this whatever you want to name it. In this case, we're just going to name it Creative 2. Leave everything all the same. Just make sure, double check, make sure everything's good. Like I said, you're going to want to keep everything the same, even the headline and the primary text. All we're changing here is the actual creative, right? So we're going to want to hit click remove media. And all we're going to do is this, add media, add video, go to media right here, press upload, and just drop in your next ad, okay? So now that we found our next ad, we just press open, and now that it's uploaded, it'll process. Once it's done processing, just press next. Like I said, you can skip and continue. Just make sure that everything's good right here. It's showing properly, okay? They're appearing properly. Okay, perfect. All you wanna do is press next. And text, as you can see, text will stay the same because we pressed duplicate. Book now, call to action button is book now. Continue enchantments, make sure that they're all off. So I would go ahead and just turn these all off. Turn off. So I would turn all of these off. They're just not needed. Perfect. And then if you, there we go. We press done. Now what you want to go ahead and do is you'll be able to see the preview again for the new ad as well. We have creative 1 and 2. And now that we're all set up, we're good to go. We're ready to publish. Once you publish, you will notice that obviously we are running at a $60 a day. You will notice you will get some results here in the 3rd, 4th day. Keep them running to the 7th day. And once you find one that's, you know, maybe outperforming the other, maybe one has maybe 7 to 10 bookings and the other one only has 3, you can clearly tell which is the winning ad, right? The one with 7 to 10. We'll cut the one with 3 to 4, and we'll just run the one with 7 to 10 results, and we'll bring the daily budget down to $20, $30, right? And then we'll be able to get a steady stream of new customers through the door for that business. Now, this is a strategy that I use for multiple local service-based businesses in my area and just all over the United States. So, and if you guys need a little bit more help on how to find that winning ad or how to craft an ad, I went ahead and created that framework that you guys can use. And essentially it breaks down everything that I do for my current clients and how we craft winning ads. Now, keep in mind, this is kind of the framework for video ads, but there is no end all be all for ads. That's why I kind of have it in quotations for a framework, because there's no such thing as this being the only way, right? There's multiple ways of doing it, but this is what's working for me and what has worked for me in the past. So I like to run with the pain hook, proof, the promise, where are they located? So in this case, Frisco, Texas, and provoke a call to action, right? So use code blank for 15% off your first cut. This is the framework. This will be linked in the description below. But let me show you some results from some clients that are currently using this exact strategy that I just showed you guys. So as you can see, this is the ads manager of one of my current clients, and we have a daily budget of $25, right? So if we go over to the left, as you can see, in the last 30 days, they have done 112 bookings, right? Now, this is a barbershop, and they have done 112 bookings, right? With only spending $25 a day. So if we scroll over a little bit more, that brings us our cost per result to $6.44. So that tells us for every $6 that they spend, they get a booking. Now their average cost per order is around $45 to $60, right? So on average, every customer spends around $45 to $60 with them. So after they spend $6.44 to acquire them, they're left with 100% profit. So as you guys can see, they spent about $721. And if we do the math, let's say on average, they've done $45. They've made $5,000 from only spending $700. Now that's about a 7.2 ROAS, if I'm not mistaken, which is really good results for a business like this. So if you're a service-based business who is looking to run ads, this strategy might be for you. Like I said, they went through the same process. We ran at $60 a day for the first 7 days. Then from there, we found our winning ad and dropped it down to $25 daily. And if we go ahead and take a look at what we've done in the past, maybe not the last 30 days, let's see what they've done with this ad the month prior. So let's do the month of April. So as you guys can see, the month of April, they did about 124 bookings. So just a little bit over what we did this month, which brings our cost per result to $5.96. Fairly almost the same. We're spending about maybe $1 more per booking, which tells us that this strategy clearly works, and they've been generating these kind of results for months now. And will bring in a steady stream of customers on a month-to-month basis. Like I said, this strategy works. It's worked for my clients, and it'll work for you. So if you're looking to run ads for your business and you'd like to work with my agency, click the link in the description below and we'll be able to work with you, or shoot me a DM at ViralHazi and I'll be more than happy to help and answer any questions you guys might have. And if you guys have any questions as far as what you're currently struggling with in your marketing agency, for all my videographers out there, drop a comment. I love to answer them. My goal is to be your support system and your partner and be the person that I wish I had when I was trying to learn ads. So feel free to like, comment, and subscribe.